Kid's ready to get real personal with hammer and musket in hand. A pair of slinger pistols is just the ticket if a hammer's too slow. Can't decide between a hammer and a brusher's pike? Take both. A hammer and an army carbine. When I was a fighting man, I used the very same. Got a feeling those tools ain't just for use at the old forge. Machete and carbine still go well together, just like in the war. The repeater and machete, favorite choices of the Ura hunters we once fought. Walk by a kid with a machete and a mortar, you just keep on walking. With that mortar and hammer, he's like a one-man demolition squad. Figures it's a good time to put his two favorite firearms to the test. Kid's ready to hit 'em fast and hit 'em hard. Bow and bellows make a strange and fearsome team. We fought with bows for centuries. Calamity cannons, not so much. Anything survives a musket shot ought to be quick work for that blade. Want to stay alive in the wilds, pack a pair of pistols and a good blade. Normally I wouldn't care to see a kid with a pike and machete in either hand. We could have a fine old cookout with that stuff. Too bad that's not the plan. With all that firepower, kid looks like he's ready to raid a fort. Anything gets past that cannon, those pistols can finish it quick. Sometimes a brusher's pike just ain't enough. That's what the carbine's for. Stick 'em and cook 'em, or the other way around. Makes no difference. A pike and a galley and a mortar, now that's some terror from the high seas. Long reach and plenty of power, now that's a scary combination. Kid's ready to slice 'em up and pound 'em to bits if they get in his way. With the bow and repeater at the ready, Kid aims to keep a safe distance. Ain't much Kid can't handle with hammer and bow in hand. A repeater goes with a hammer better than a box of nails. A bow and a machete, every bit as effective as the fancier stuff. Sometimes arrows ain't enough, so Kid packs something bigger just in case. Kid ain't taking chances, takes all the firepower he can carry. Doesn't hurt having a couple of trusty old guns on hand. Kid must think he's the fastest shot in all the land. He probably is. With pike and repeater in hand, he's like a man come straight from the wilds. Now he can light 'em up or pin 'em down. Maybe both. Fill 'em with needles or blast 'em to bits. Tough call. A bow ain't much good in a crowd, but a musket sure is. Even our lightest range weapons are not to be taken lightly. Kid don't always care for fancy guns and things. A bow and pike'll do just fine. Best not let 'em get too close if you only got a bow and a carbine. If there's anything that blade can't split open, a cannon ought to do it. Nothing subtle about those guns, but maybe that's the point. Want to keep the wilds at bay, pack yourself a musket and a pike. No more fooling around. Time to roll out the big guns and get this over with. Ever see a kid with a musket and a fire bellows? Bit of a disturbing sight. That's some heavy-duty hardware. Not exactly the most delicate pairing. Kid's loaded down with some of Ceylondia's finest firearms. He's a spitting image of Slinger Jawson with that pike and them pistols. Now that's a lot of guns for just one kid, but he can hold his own. Wouldn't have thought to bring a bellows to a shootout, but it just might work. When one type of firepower ain't enough, there's always the carbine and the bellows. Kid makes me nervous sometimes strutting around with all those guns. Well, if you can't burn it, you can always blow it to mother on high, right? No matter what he's gonna face out there, it'll burn. Okay, now that's just plain overkill. I mean, come on. Much obliged for all your time and attention today.